Yeah, between him bro, Numnandi.
No, I'm alright, bro. What's happening? Talk to me, man.
Ah, no, man, I'm all good. So as I was telling you, we have a good audience today. We have about 400 people watching, which is obviously like quite a good number. And I think for me, I would really like for people to fully know and understand, like, with me and you, we've become like powerful forces. We've become, a powerhouse. We have become people who obviously are
Pioneers.
influential, you know. So we've become influential in our space. And I mean, right now, as you can see, we have almost 500 people watching at like 10 past 10, which is like, pretty awesome. So I want people to know, like, tell us about you. So I'm going to be asking you questions that I think are relevant for the person who's watching. And then you can also do the same and ask me stuff. So back to back kind of a conversation for people to fully understand exactly where we come from, who we are, how we grew up, the level that we are at right now, what can people learn from us, all of that. So yeah, let's get to it, bro.
Okay, let me get a proper positioning, dog, yeah, because I'm feeling a grade. I want to be comfortable because I don't want to be uncomfortable on your life. You know, you are the biggest forex trader in SC, man. You host lives more than anyone in SA.
That's not true, but I'll take it. That's not true, but I'll take it, bro.
Game yako boys, peto wena boy. Game yako.
Give me a Ntwane. Give me a
Yeah.
boy.
So, what do you wanna know about me, dog? I think I'm fine now.
Yeah, I mean, for us, like, tell us who is Stylish Keys. What would be the things that you'd like for us to know about you? Like the important stuff, bro, the basic things that you feel are like important to know about you. This is before, like, don't tell us about Soweto Forex icon. Tell us about Stylish Keys himself, you know?
Okay, so you wanna know about my name? You wanna know about my upbringing? You wanna know about
100%, yeah.
the elements that build up who I am? So
100%.
basically, my name is Lindoguhle Gumete. That's my real name. You understand?
Sure.
Obviously, Stylish Keys came about when I used to play the keys, you understand, and I was still stylish more than I am now. I used to follow up fashion. I used to love style more than I love it now. And that's quite okay, you understand. So that's how it came about. That stylish guy that plays the keys. So that's how
Yeah,
stylish keys came about. You understand?
sure,
Yeah, and
sure,
I'm obviously 25 years of age. It's the same age as you are. You understand?
sure,
And
sure.
just a young man that grew up in Soweto, just a bit of KZN experience, a bit of Soweto, not a bit, like a lot of Soweto experience, a bit of KZN experience. A very smart guy academically, obviously. I understand.
Yeah,
You know, so
100%.
we're always on the top 5 SKL. We're always on the top 3 SKL, I understand. We've always
Yeah,
been that smart, and we've always wanted the best for ourselves, and we always wanted to see ourselves doing the most in life. So basically, that's who Stylish Kids is. Obviously, I did grade 1 to grade 12. After that, I pursued teaching. I did teaching. I started working in 2015 in Lakeview Primary School, and then I stopped working in 2018. This was shortly after I started trading, obviously taught by Dr. Martin. Dr. Martin
yeah,
introduced me to Forex, right? So I started trading in 2017. 2018, I stopped working, I stopped doing teaching. That's where this stylish keys that people know started booming, started being built, that's when I started pursuing the career of Forex. But obviously, that's when I stopped working. That's when I decided to pursue my career in trading. I understand. In
yeah, yeah,
2018. So that's when I stopped working. Obviously, the time I stopped working, I'd already made about $1,000 a week. You understand?
yeah,
That was
yeah.
like that was
13,
around 15,000,
13,
15,000
13.
rand,
That's
13,000 rands,
13,
yeah. Back
13,
in
yeah.
the day, 2018, it was around 13,000 rand because obviously the rand against the dollar was around 13 rand something, you understand?
Yeah.
So I had
Yeah.
made 13,000 something. And at the time, obviously, it was with tick meal, and it took 7 days
Me,
for the withdrawal to
100%.
come in. Obviously, I had to stop teaching. I had to stop pursuing the career of teaching to obviously pursue Forex trading. At the time, Forex was not as big as it is right now, because in
Yeah.
this day and age, it's easy to see that Forex works because there's a lot of people that are doing it and there's enough evidence. But at the time we started, there wasn't enough evidence. There wasn't enough inspiration. So you had to draw inspiration from within yourself. You understand?
You're
So
right.
that's
Yeah.
when we drew our inspiration from within ourselves. We're inspired by the likes of VMJ, by the likes of Ref Wayne, by the likes of
Ashley.
Ashley Estibia, the likes of Kiamalach. He was also one of the
Andile.
inspirational guys. You understand?
Andile
Even
worldwide.
Wealth Minister, the Wealth Minister was one of the most inspirational guys back in 2018. Wealth Minister, Kiamalach, Ashley Estibia, Ashley Gray. You understand? These were the guys that had already made it in the game and were a forefront in the game. Even though it wasn't as big as it is right now, but at least they gave us hope that if this guy was able to buy an A45 just by trading, then it means if I do this thing as well, I'll also make it. You understand? I remember at the time, Kiamalachi was driving. He was driving a Polo
Apologies
6
to God.
GTR.
Yeah.
You understand?
Apologies. Yeah.
Today, when thinking about that car, I mean, I can't be buying that car for inspirational purposes. Understand?
Yeah.
But back in the day, it inspired us to see someone driving that car from their hard-earned money through Forex. So that was the inspiration we needed. You understand? And these guys were guys that were far away from us. In Soweto, we didn't have anyone inspirational. Yes, we knew about VMJ, we knew about other guys that are in the
But
game.
it kind of seemed like it was a bit far away from us
You
because we never
understand my
saw it.
point, dog. You
Yeah.
understand
Yeah.
my point. Like VMJ was there, but he was there, but he
He was
was
not
far-fetched,
relatable.
dog. You
Yeah.
understand? He was far-fetched. You understand, dog? Like he was there, but it was far. We didn't even know that it was from Soweto. We only found out at a later stage that no man, this guy's from Soweto. You understand?
Yeah.
That's when we even got even more inspired. Even worse, seeing him driving around the world was even more inspirational and even more inspiring. But this is the gist of the matter. At that time, we had to draw inspiration from within ourselves. I remember there was a time where you were trading, I was working. I understand.
Yeah.
But what inspired me was seeing little cents coming out of your pockets. You understand?
Yeah,
Seeing you
100%.
being able to afford 500 rands bill without any job, without any employment. That was
Unemployed and
inspirational
able to
for
pay
me.
that
You
much. Yeah.
understand? Imagine me working as hard as I was working, being a career guy as much as I was a career guy, and looking at you, obviously, looking at you, you were doing architecture in VIX. Obviously, you had a greater career than I had when you talk
Yeah.
about corporate sector. You understand? So obviously, you being able to afford a 500 rands bill and being
Unemployed.
being at university was amazing. That's when we started to pay attention because you bought your first iPhone from Forex. Understand? You know
Yeah.
our background. We couldn't afford buying iPhones, but you had an iPhone. You didn't work. I was working. You had an iPhone. So that was sort of inspirational. You understand? So that's where Stylish Keys comes from. You understand?
Yeah.
It's an inspiration that came from within. Obviously, looking for inspiration from guys that are outside of the wood. And growing in Soweto, guys, is not an easy thing. Growing in Soweto is a very hard thing. I don't want to lie to you because in Soweto, there's no positive inspiration. In Soweto, there's no positive outcomes that come out of Soweto. That is why if when you're a guy and you grew in Soweto and you make it, it's a shock to people that are in Soweto. Understand? All of them are amazed. How is this guy successful? Because we don't know these things in Soweto. How did this guy make it? How is this guy like that? How is he affording such a lifestyle? Because we've never been exposed to such things. The only people that are exposed to such things are gangsters. And obviously, for people to see you making it and being unemployed and not being a gangster is not an easy thing, you understand? So that's where we come from, where to draw inspiration from deep down within ourselves and inspire ourselves. Even when you wake up in the morning, when you wake up in the morning and look at yourself in the mirror, you're able to inspire yourself and say, I'm the greatest thing that has ever happened in my life. So that's who I am. I don't know what else you
Yeah.
want to know, but that's just an introduction.
Yeah, Joe, I think I like the brief background. We're gonna get a bit into details later about how you had started and stuff like that. But like there's something you mentioned, and I think like most of you know, people that obviously come from unprivileged backgrounds actually would share the same sentiment. So me, I want you to take me back to that time, because I remember with myself, right, when we were growing up, obviously these are not things that we would talk about, but from the depth of my heart, I've always known that I want to be a great individual. I want to be this and this and that. And it's crazy how we never got to speak about those things, because me and you are obviously twins. We are that tight, you know, and we never spoke about our dreams and aspirations and what we want in life and stuff like that. But with me, I think I remember growing up, I always had it in me that I want to be big, I want to be great. I knew that I was born for greatness, even when
Yeah.
the situation was obviously different, you know. So I want to know, because we've never spoken about this, I've never asked you this, and this is the first time I'm obviously like having this conversation, and it's mad that we're having this conversation on a live. And I feel for me and you, it's an emotional thought to think about where we come from and where we currently are right now. To say, you know, we sometimes I wake up like in my own place. We used to live together, but we don't live together anymore. And you have your own comfort at your own home. I've got my own comfort in my own home. And back in the day, like things were very different. You know what I mean? Like it was, bro, like it was just like two little boys from the hood living in the same room. We used to wake up in the same bed. We used to sometimes share clothes, you know. I haven't worn anything of yours in ages, bro. But we used to share the same clothes. We used to, you know, wake up in the same bed and stuff like. So I don't know, like, was it the same for you like it was for me? Did you always know that as an infant, I mean, I'm actually
Boy,
like meant for greatness, you know?
boy, this one thing I'm gonna remind you, man. I was with you from grade one up until right now. There's
Not
one
even
thing
grade
that
one,
I'm
bro.
always
You were with me
grateful
from
for.
the first day, bro. First
From the
day.
womb, but obviously, with regards to careers and all of that, like
Yeah.
this is so emotional. So thinking
It's
of where we are
emotional.
coming
Yeah,
from
it's
and
emotional,
where we
bro.
are, so you understand. Like I don't want to lie to you. Nothing comes easy in life, but obviously, looking at how things are today, you understand, and thinking of where we are from, you understand. Like this is just something great. Like you're saying, this is the first time we're having this conversation, and
Yeah.
it's even more weird that we're having it on a live. You understand? From
Weird, bro.
childhood,
Weird as
dog,
hell.
we've always had that leadership sentiment in our lives. You understand? I remember we were prefects in school, we were leaders also. It even got to a point where we had to lead assembly sessions, dog, even at school. You understand?
Yeah.
Everywhere we
Yeah.
went, there was always that leadership sentiment. You understand? We've always had that sentiment, Yoguti. These guys are great guys, you understand?
Yeah.
Even at our lowest points, dog, never have you ever given up. Me personally, dog, you know, I've been in some dodgy situations, you understand? Like we've seen God being there for us in so many
Yeah.
ways, you understand? Like everything that we have touched in our lives has always been successful. And this is not
100%.
something that comes from people that are on the outside. This is not something that comes from people that are looking at us and giving us that respect. But this is something that comes from within. We have
Yeah.
always believed in ourselves, even from a young age. I remember even a crash when we were graduating, though we were on the forefront, though. Never have we ever been at the back, though, because this is
Yeah.
something that came from within. You understand? We had always had that thing within us that, you know what, we are great and we are gonna make it. You understand? Even when I was busy with my doji things, I've always been that guy. You understand? I've always been at the forefront. It's not that we are lucky. It's not that maybe God favors us more than anyone else, but it's a matter of believing in something that is within you. You understand? Believing in that leadership element that is within you. And because I've seen it happen with me, dog, this is what makes me the person that I am today. People always ask me, why are you so humble? Why do you respect people that much? I'm not humble because I wanna be celebrated. I'm not humble because I wanna be seen
But
or
it's
wanna be
not
known
humble
for being humble.
beginning.
I am humble because I have seen God taking me from a nobody to somebody, dog. Even today when I travel around the wood, anywhere, dog, like I can drive to Pretoria, I can drive to Durban, I can drive to the East End. Everyone knows who Stylish Keys is. You
Yeah.
understand? And
Yeah.
that is not an easy thing, dog. That is God showing you that, dude, moving from being a nobody to being a somebody is very possible. That is why I believe in everyone, dog. I give everyone that sense of respect because I've seen myself being at that point where I was a nobody, dog. Not even being able to afford a toothbrush, dog. Not even being able to afford a toothpaste. Not even being able to afford bath soap. I've seen that life, dog. You understand?
Yeah.
Being stressed by rent on the day when I was supposed to pay my rent. Ngiceda kuphume ejardini, dog. I was stressing out. Ngizoyibhatala kanjani rent? I'm trying this Forex thing out. I've just quit my job. You understand? Being able to get a job at any given time, I decided that I want to focus on this craft. I want to focus on trading. I want to focus on making money. And yet, this thing that I have faith, that I have so much faith in, is failing me. Like, what am I going to do right now? I don't even
Yeah.
have clothes. I don't even have toiletry. I don't even have money for food. You understand? And right now, here I am. I'm saying, this thing is gonna take me somewhere one day. Look at what
Yeah.
God did, though. Look at what hard work did. You understand? This was back
Yeah.
in 2018. This was back in 2019. 2020, dog. God stepped in, and look at me now. Understand? Now people know who I am. People know who Stylish Kids is. If I was to tell them that last year around this time, I was even below 10,000 followers. You understand? People didn't even know me. People knew who Dr. Martin was, but they didn't know who Stylish Kids was. Understand? We grew up together, but we had different encounters in life, with different experiences in life. You had your own way, I had my own way. You understand? From where I'm coming from, dog, from my ways to where I am, dog, I can only tell you, it is only through God and hard work, dog. There's
So,
nothing else that
and
can bring me
like,
there.
so, dog, this is so emotional because, you know, me and you growing up and stuff like that, as you're saying, like we've always known that we are at the forefront. There is nothing that we've ever engaged ourselves in, and there wasn't any form of like traces of greatness. Like, I mean, from primary school, from us being, in the top five every single month, top five performing students, to to us being prefects, to us, leading, church organizations in schools, to us being even at the forefront in churches. Like, we've always been at the front, and still go back to, home, and still face the reality of the struggles that you are facing with, like a lot of people don't actually know that we come from a very not okay family, and for someone else right now, they may look at that and they think, Uti, Echo, these guys like are different. These guys are special because of this and this and that. But they don't know that we come from a family. I was actually telling my cleaner, bro. Like, I was telling my cleaner here at home, and she was saying, "Yo, Joe, the way you treat me, like you treat me so nice and stuff like that." I'm like, the reason why I'm behaving like this is because you don't know that I was raised by a grandmother who used to do the same thing you are doing for me right now for someone else. You know what I mean? And people don't know this, that we were raised by a grandmother who wasn't so financially astute, but had the money, had the means, had the drive to basically take care of us. And at that time,
Yeah.
like, having to be that kid who looks at or at his parents, who looks at, you know, his family and sees the struggles and still be able to think beyond the struggles. You know what I mean? Do you think there's, I don't know, do you think in your regard there's anything that you might have done or implemented whilst in the struggling phase and still not knowing what it is that's going to make you great? Because I'm doing this, and I did say that, like, right now, me and you are one of the guys. Me, I'm not even gonna put myself down, even if, you know, you speak about following and stuff like that. Influence wise, like when you speak about traders, we are at the top of the list. We are at the forefront. We are one of the guys who inspire other people to try and be like us. We've got people looking at them to try and be like us. I want to know, Uti, was there a point where you decided to think beyond the situation, even when you didn't have the relevant strategies of actually taking you to where you want to be? Was there anything that happened in your mind when you were still a kid, when you were still young? Like, is there any kind of a mindset that you had that basically influenced the person you are today? And you know, I want to take you back to that kid to say, do you remember yourself thinking that I'm gonna be big, thinking that I'm gonna be this guy, thinking that I'm gonna be this influential? Is there anything that you think you did in that space where you didn't have the strategy to go beyond the situation, but managed to think above and beyond the situation? Is there anything you would say you can trace back to and say, I think this was my line of thinking? Because I want to see something. I want to see something in the pattern of life and how life works in terms of the thought process and in terms of the power of the mind and all of that. Is there anything you can say, "Ucabang Guti, this is how I thought back in the day," to, you know, to that maybe has an impact and influence on how my life turned out right now?
Doc, remember, growing up, we believed so much in education, you understand? We believed so much
Yeah,
in education to a sense that we're top students even at school, you understand? We
yeah,
worked so hard, you know, for a fact. Even our teachers know, everyone that knows us from childhood know, understand? We worked hard. It's me, you, Sia Raymond, who's now an actor. He's not even deep into academics right now. Understand? There were
yeah,
three intelligent guys at school. Though. It was you, me, and Sierra. You understand? We worked so hard,
yeah.
and we put our focus on.
Are you there?
Yeah, no, sorry about that, dog. Like I was receiving a call. We put our focus on wrong things. You understand? We put our focus
Yeah.
on education, making sure that we are empowered. We are empowered academically, so that we are better people tomorrow. So the same thought process, Yoguti. Okay, I must be focused as a person for me to see myself going forward in life. Is the same thing that is bringing us where we are today. I don't know if you understand my point. I understand.
Yeah,
We had to
yeah,
work hard at school for us to be recognized. We had to work hard at school for us to get the best grades. And we needed the best grades to change the situation at home. You understand?
mm,
Now that we are here today, I can only say that the only thing that has impacted our well-being today, or that has impacted the people that we are today, is the hard work that we got from when we grew up. We used to work so hard for us to
mm,
see the situation at home changing. It's the same mentality that we are putting in today, to see lives of people that are around us changing, lives from our families changing. The only thing I can say, dog, is that the only thing that I personally did was working hard. You understand? That's
yeah.
the only thing that I personally did. It was working hard and nothing much.
Yeah, I remember, Doc. I remember you mentioned something right now that people didn't know. You know, 2017, I start trading. I introduced you to Forex. I'm already making racks. You know, even as the amount of money I was making back then was enough for me to basically get convinced that I'm gonna be doing this for a lifetime. Even when I knew that that wasn't like kind of like a lot of money, it was very little amount. So to me, introducing you to trading and saying, okay, Sharp, this is the way of life, this is what I want to do, and stuff like that. And then you guys being convinced actually that you want to do the same thing, right? And then Fast forward, we're trading, we're making big amounts to like around $5,000 in a day. I remember there were days we were clocking $5,000, we were clocking $7,000 per day, to a point of us now not clocking anything, to a point of us now losing everything that we had, everything that we had worked for in a couple of months, mainly because we were obviously not as experienced as we are right now, and to a point of me, like me recovering and you still having to try hard to have ends meet. Like, how was that process where you saw me making it, or rather you saw me being consistent with the craft of trading, knowing that we sort of like started around the same time, and having to see me make money and you are sitting and not making money? What was going on in your head at that time? Like, what was happening at that time where you are looking at your brother? He's now Insta famous. He's making money. He bought himself a car. He's doing this and this and that. And at the same time, there's no progress in your life. Like, what was happening in your life at the time? There's a back and forth kind of a movement. You are trying, but you keep on blowing accounts, trying, but keep on blowing accounts. Like, what is the one thing that you would say was happening in your life, and what did that phase of your life basically teach you, and what does it have to do with the person that you are today?
So this is what people don't know, dog. Ne? I know people
Yeah.
got to know of stylish kids maybe early last year and throughout the year last year. I mean, they knew stylish kids to be King Nasdaq, the guy that trades Nas 100 and kills Nas 100. But this is one thing they don't know, dog. I've been in the game since 2017, right? 2018, started seeing the money. 2018, still we started losing the money, and also things happened, of which I wouldn't really go into details. As you understand, but gist of the matter is things started happening in 2018 to a point where if you knew me, and according to people that speak, you would say that guy will. You understand? It got to that point from living at home with a stack of 70,000 every day to going back to where you can't even afford buying brand new jeans. Dog, I literally had one jeans. Understand? Dog. This was 2018 late, 2019 early, and 2020 I had to fight my way back to the top. Understand? 2019, the whole year, dog, I was broke. I won't even lie to anyone. 2019, I was broke the whole year. You understand? Yes, I knew Forex money. I knew that Forex had money, but reality had to kick in at some point. Fine, I know Forex has money, but right now I don't have money. Then what? Understand? So I had to step up. I had to come out of my comfort zone. I had to do crazy stuff, even get involved in criminalistic actions, whatever. Understand? I even had to go through crime for me to get to where I am. You understand? I went into crime, trying to make a living. It didn't even make sense at the time. Like, I stole cars, dog. Like, I was a car thief at that time. Understand? I had car thefts, knowing how to trade, having a qualification that can get me a job. Understand? I had to go steal cars because I felt like, no, I can't go back to teaching because obviously I believe so much in trading. Yes, I believe in trading. I don't have funding money. So I had to make a plan as a man. I had to go steal cars. I had to basically turn into a criminal. Understand? While at it, I had to come back to my senses. You understand? I had to come back to my senses and actually bring my mind back and be like, no, dude, this is not the life I was designed to live. Dog, dog. I wasn't like this. I wasn't this light. I was very dark in complexion. Dog, I had poverty written all over my face. I had to fight, dog, from within my mind. I had to come back to my senses. Not having money to fund. Not having money to fund. Dog. You'd find me watching at the screen like this, looking at how Nasdaq is moving. You understand? I had a free signals group. I had a free signals group that had over 120 people, dog. A free signals group, and the group was named Challenge 1,000 to 100,000. You remember that group, dog?
Yeah.
At that time, dog, I was flipping broke, dog. I had that group 1,000 to 100,000 challenge in a week, dog. Everyone had made 100,000 from the group, and you know what? You know what was the sad part? I didn't make anything from the group. You understand? Because I was very broke. I was very broke, dog. From the group, I didn't make anything. I remember Malimox sending me 1,000 rand, dog. A 1,000 rand appreciation because she had made
From
so much from 1,000 rand, and it was my signals group.
5,000, yeah, I remember.
It was 55,000 in one day from 1,000 rand, and this was 2018. This was 2019, dog. She made 55,000 rand from 1,000 rand. Marcelino Valihu, dog, he made 100,000 rand from 1,000 rand on that signals group. That's when I funded my account. I remember you came with 1.5. You're like, dog, I can see you are good, but you don't have funding. Please trade this money. If you make profit, let's split it 50-50. What did I do, dog? In 30 minutes, that account was on 15,000. You understand? From 15,000, you gave me 7.5. From that 7.5, I had to refund. I had to fund. At some points, dog, I took 600 to 90,000 rand. You understand? So this was very motivational to me, dog, because I studied the chart movement not having money to fund. Understand? I didn't have money to fund. I didn't say, no, let me hustle money to fund and then I'll come get a one-on-one from Dr. Martin. No, no, no. I already learned what support and resistance is. I already learned what a trend line is. I had to sit down and monitor the charts. I had to sit down and look at how Nasdaq is moving. Look at what's happening. And I wasn't taught by anyone that Nasdaq moves that much at 3:30. I saw that on my own, dog. I saw that on my own because I would wake up in the morning, switch on my 32-inch TV, dog. Even Wealth Minister is commenting. Wealth Minister knows very well, dog. He knows very well. There was some time where Wealth Minister gave me 10,000, dog, having nothing to trade, dog. Having nothing to trade. Wealth Minister gave me 10,000. I took that 10,000 to 70,000 rand on that day, dog. On that day. At that time, it was very impossible for people to do it. I took 600 to 90,000 in a week. When it wasn't popular, everyone was still closing about 3,000, 4,000 a day. I was closing over 15,000 a day. But you know what I learned, though, on those times? I would make so much money and not withdraw and blow the money. That is the funny part. And you know, dog, you are a witness. I would make so much money. I would make over 90,000, over 100,000 and not withdraw and blow the same amount. So, you know what I learned in those days, dog? Every dog has its day. You know that saying? That says every dog has its day. Time, everyone has their own time, dog. You can't cheat timing. You can't cheat timing, dog. I was very skilled and I didn't have money. I would see money on my dashboard and not even withdraw and blow the money, dog. I even thought I was bewitched. I don't want to lie to you. I even thought of giving up. And I was like, this Forex thing is not for me anymore. What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? But dog, look where I am today. Check where I am today, dog. Wealth Minister says I'm a witness too.
Yeah, dog. I think that's very inspirational because people often think, Joe, it takes one day or like, you know, it's for specific individuals. But for guys like me and you, dog, like we know very well that, like, you know, it's from humble beginnings, dog. From humble.
I can see Marcelino is here too, dog. Marcelino can attest to that signals group from 1,000 to 100,000 challenge. And you know what? You know what's the crazy part, dog?
Yeah.
I had convinced everyone that if they fund 1,000 by the end of the month, they are gonna be on 100,000. If Marcelino is here, let him type. Everyone on the group, though, I promise you, God is my witness. Everyone in the group, there was no stop loss though on that group. There was no stop loss though on that group. There was no stop loss though. It was from entry straight to profit straight to massive profit, straight to extreme profits, dog. I don't want to lie to you. And you know what's the sad part? I was very broke at that time. Everyone was making money. I was very broke.
People don't know the side of you that made that was good at trading, had the markets going towards their direction every single time they took out a stop loss. But when you fund an account, you still aren't getting your breakthrough. You know what I mean? Like sometimes imagine having to go through a season where you are just being used as a tool to actually elevate other people's lives. You are being used as a tool to actually like motivate other people to get to greater heights. But at that moment, it's not your time yet, you know? And most people tend to give up exactly at that moment where God is using you as a ladder to elevate other people and it's not yet your time. I want to know, like, bro, the reason I'm asking this is because these things are things that people go through, and you know, I believe so much in the events that would happen for a reason. God will orchestrate things for a reason, just so you can obviously inspire. Your life is obviously a testimony. My life is a testimony, and there's people who need to look at our lives and relate to say, I think I'm at this level. I'm at this point. I want to know, bro, the importance of celebrating others when it's not yet your time, knowing very well that you are at your prime skill-wise, but monetary-wise, you haven't been granted the time to actually, you know, carry on and continue. Like, what was happening in your head, dog? Having to see that.
Let me tell you one thing, dog. Let me tell you one thing. Obviously, me trading Nasdaq at that time, being broke, I didn't see Nasdaq from anyone. I wasn't inspired to trade Nasdaq by anyone. I started trading Nasdaq because this is something I found on the MT4. I came to you, I told you about it. You didn't even want to trade it because at that time, when I was trading Nasdaq, everyone was trading currencies. Understand?
Yeah. Yeah.
This is something, this is my true story. I wasn't inspired by anyone to trade Nasdaq, you understand? I was inspired by myself. I was inspired by my true being that there's this thing that I saw. Let me try trading it. When I traded that thing, I used to trade gold, I used to trade USD ZAR, I used to trade GBP JPY. You understand? GBP JPY. I was introduced to Nasdaq by myself. Yeah. I saw this thing, I started trading it. I don't even know how I got to encounter Nasdaq, but fact is I came across it. Regardless of who started trading it in SA first or whatever the case, it's fine. But I saw Nasdaq, I started trading it. I was still using an Android phone. I found it 600 trends, dog. At that time, we still believed in growing accounts. We still believed in growing accounts. You understand? We still believed in growing accounts. I found it 600 trends. I don't even remember how I got to trade Nasdaq. However way, but I started trading Nasdaq. Understand? 600 trends. I grew it to about 7,000 in 2 days on Nasdaq. I took the 7,000 to 90,000 in a week, if you remember very well. The first time I started trading Nasdaq, I was very happy, dog. I was very inspired. That is when I decided to stop trading currencies. Fine, I traded Nasdaq. I started blowing accounts. I started not making as consistent profits as I used to. You understand? Okay, fine. Coming to the Instagram world, there were the likes of Amogelang Mataba, Mr. GBP JPY, ZIX, even Mr. L was also a part of those people that used to inspire so much in Nasdaq. Major RSA was also part of the Nasdaq Forex crew, if you remember very well. You understand? Obviously, I'm into this world. There's a crew that's called Nasdaq Forex, and they are pushing so hard. You understand? They are pushing so hard. These guys are pushing so hard to a point that they're inspiring a guy that lives in Soweto. Look at this, dog. These guys are guys that know me by name today. You understand? If you say who's Stylish Keys, all of these guys that I'm counting are people that know who Stylish Keys is, and they inspired who Stylish Keys was back in the day. You understand? So what I'm trying to say here, I'm not trying to step on anyone's toes or anything like that, but what I'm trying to say is nothing surpasses hard work, dog. I don't want to lie
Yeah.
to you. I worked so hard because I could see my inspiration. You understand? You can't work hard when you don't have a point of reference. You must always have a point of reference. You must always have someone that inspires you for you to work hard. Understand? So we're inspired by these guys for us to be able to get to where they are today, to be able to get to where we are today. You understand? These people know us by name, not because we are twins. They know us because we worked hard for who we are today. You understand? Like I said, when this life started, I shared my real name. People didn't even know what my real name was. Understand? People know Stylish Keys. You understand? Why do they know Stylish Keys? Because Stylish Keys worked hard to be the guy that he is today. You understand? I didn't just become Stylish Keys today. I didn't just wake up and say, no, guys, I'm Stylish Keys. And I didn't just buy an account that had over 60,000 followers. I had to work hard, though, to get to where I am. Everyone that knows me because I worked hard. You understand? So because I've seen it happening in my life, then it means it can happen to anyone that is on this life. That is why, even up to this day, dog, I respect everyone for who they are. I think that's what inspired me to be the person that I am today, dog. I don't know
100%.
about you, man.
Yeah, I know. I fully agree, dog. You know, I was there to see. I was able to witness the power of hard work. You know, change your life from one point to the other. And I think the way the game is so filthy right now, everything looks unreal because there's people who don't move real. That's why every time when we are together and then like a story comes up of who's moving shady, it's always difficult for me to believe because I've always moved in a very legitimate way. You know, when you come to me and say, hey, Joe, do you know that something like this, like this, like this is like that? I'm like, no ways. I always find it hard to believe because I've always moved genuinely. And with me, when I get questions like, who is the one person you think has to be your biggest person that you've mentored in your life? And I'm saying my brother for me is the biggest person that I've shown Forex and have seen it to work through him because you know, with us being together from day one, with us being together from birth, I was able to see every single phase of your life. I was able to see every single point of your life, moving from one point to the other, moving from this level to the next. And I was able to see how your life has been able to transition from one stage to the next, so much that at this point, I'm so confident to say my brother is the biggest person I'm actually sure that what I showed him works for him, you know, because there's no pretense, though. There's no pretense. There is no acting. There's no acting, bro. There's no acting to it. There's no pretense to it. It's real. And from where we come from, like there's people I saw like some comments of people who were saying like, yeah, it's true. I thought you've always been academically whatever. That means there's people who know us from a young age who've been able to see the change and the transformation of our lives, and that can only come through hard work. You know what I mean? So I do agree with what you're saying, Wuticho. Like it all takes hard work and discipline to basically get to greater heights, and I think that's one thing that all of you guys who are watching right now can potentially take to say this is what basically builds a person: hard work. There is truly no one who's gonna come and save you. You are alone and you are yourself. So yeah, man, I've asked you stuff about you. Is there anything that you wish you've ever asked me before or something, or for the viewers? What is it?
Dog, for me, ne, like you've always put it on the plate for me, you understand? You've never done anything dodgy,
Yeah,
you understand? You are a straight man, dog. If you
yeah,
do something, you're open about it and you go for it. That's what I know you
yeah,
for. You understand? That's what I know you for. If you do something, you're straight about it and you go for it. Understand? For me, it's different. It's unlike you. Understand? For me,
yeah,
I've always been that black sheep dog in the family, you know. I've always been that dodgy guy. You understand? Even at home, dog. Like I always get questions such as how do you convince your parents enough that Forex works, dog? There's no
yeah,
amount of words that you can speak to your parents that will make them believe Forex is there if you don't have money. You understand? You
yeah,
must just make
yeah,
money, though. You must just make money. I think that's the best conviction that you can never give to your parents. If you bring in the money, then they would see that Forex works. Because I believe that's the same way you convinced me. And I didn't believe in Forex, though. I don't want to lie to you. I thought Forex is one of those things. Keep it, triple M, you understand? But as soon as I saw it living, as soon as I saw it happening, I saw you having a living out of it, I started believing in Forex. I understand. So
Yeah.
it's there, dog. It's there. Like you've always been straight up. Up to today, dog, on this life, no one can come and say Dr. Martin scammed me. Stylish Keys scammed me. Understand?
Yeah.
Stylish Keys scammed me. Dr. Martin scammed me. Why is that so? Because we've always been straight up, dog. We've always been straight up, dog. Even with the gents, even with the family, even with everyone, dog, we've always been straight up. You don't have anyone that can come and say, no, Dr. Martin scammed me. I gave him 5,000 and he blew it. What. You understand those funny things, dog? No one can say that.
Yeah. And I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that, bro. And let's always keep it like that, keep it moving, you know. I think so, bro, you know, like I'm thinking right now, because it's difficult for me and you to have this conversation because it's very close to home, you know. It's closer than it is close to home, because me and you are basically the same person who's got different personalities. You know, when people see me and you, they see the same person because we look alike, we do the same thing. Like all of those nitty-gritties are like the same. So the questions that I obviously ask you are questions that are somehow projected to me as well, because I know that we've had life to be the same. We've experienced life to be the same. You know, we've gone through life most hardest moments, life's most difficult moments and stuff like that. You know, so ish mfana, you know, ish, it's crazy, dog. It's mad. It's mad. It's mad. Like I have so many questions that I wish I would ask, but I'm not gonna ask because obviously those questions are also kind of projected to me, and I kind of understand how it may feel, you know. But
I
mfana,
know, go
what?
on, dog. Don't know,
Yeah,
go on,
yeah,
dog. Just to inspire someone that's going through the same thing. Because remember, we hosted this live to talk about our story and for inspirational purposes to someone else that is out there. So you can go and ask the questions, dog.
yeah, man. This is crazy, man. It's crazy, dog. I want It's crazy. I'm very happy, dog, that like our lives are turning out the way they are. I'm very much happy, dog, you know, very much happy, and I'm grateful, dog. You can continue and ask questions, dog. You can continue and ask stuff that you feel is relevant or necessary for someone who's watching to obviously get inspired from.
I think, dog, I've shared enough with regards to how I came about. Obviously, it's through hard work, you understand.
Yeah,
Um, Obviously, you taught me how to trade, but I had to push myself to be the person that I am today. You understand? You didn't teach me how to trade Nasdaq. You taught me how to trade Forex. I had
yeah,
to find my way around Nasdaq. After finding my, dog, I don't even have a mentor online, dog, that can say Stylish Kids came to me for lessons or whatever. Anyone that says that is a lie. You understand? You introduced me to the game. I had to push myself the way that I did. You understand?
yeah,
Fine. After that, right now I'm trading German 30. No one taught me how to trade German 30. I had to find my way around German 30 as well. Understand? So
yeah,
this word of inspiration to someone that is out there. Understand? No one can inspire you more than you can inspire yourself. You understand?
yeah,
Obviously, you draw inspiration from other people. You are not really inspired by other people, but you draw inspiration from them. Once you draw that inspiration from them, you then implement it in your life. You understand? You implement it in your life. And then you personally inspire yourself enough. I mean, dog, we don't sleep. We don't sleep. Dog. Sometimes you sleep at 4 a.m. Sometimes you don't sleep at all. Sometimes I personally wake up at 6 a.m. to catch that 9 a.m. movement.
yeah,
Unomsindo ungo asisezwa kahle. I personally wake up at around 6 a.m., around 7 a.m. for me to catch the 9 a.m. movement on German 30. And imagine I slept at 6 and I slept at 4. At 6, past 6 to 7, I'm already up. Understand? This is something that no one can inspire you to do. You understand? I can say to you, remember, though, we know Steve Harvey. Though. There's so many videos of Steve Harvey saying sleep is for the rich. You sleep is for the money people. Even if it's not Steve Harvey, though, if you go to Instagram, there's so many inspirational videos. Sleep is for the rich. You can't be sleeping. Hustle. Dog, there is no one that can inspire you as much as you can inspire yourself. Dog. I don't want to lie to you. We are having this live right now. Someone out there is comparing their lives to maybe our previous lives, or maybe they are inspired by the life that we have right now. Even this life, though, is not inspiration enough to someone that's sitting out there. Do you want to know what inspires a person enough? They can only inspire themselves. You are the one that inspires yourself to wake up early in the morning. Understand? So it's just like working out. I can show you pictures of guys with 6 packs, dog, and you have a baby, dog. No matter how bad you want a 6 pack, dog, not even a single picture of a 6 pack. Understand? The inspiration must come from within. You must wake up in the morning, go have sit-ups, go jog. It's not the picture that inspires you, but it's the picture that help you to draw inspiration from, and then you inspire yourself personally, so that you wake up every morning, do sit-ups, jog, and run on the treadmill, so that tomorrow you have a 6 pack. You understand? Even us, though, we can't inspire someone enough. We can only do so much. You understand? Everyone on this live is their greatest inspiration. That's what I want to say, Tom.
That's so beautiful, Doc. Thank you so much for that, bro. It takes me back to the days when I also started when I was, I always tell people that I used to spend over 20 hours in front of my screen, and sometimes people don't believe it because they think it's too superficial. But sometimes when you are too hungry and when you really need the breakthrough, and when you are on the verge of actually amounting to nothing, and you want to become something, the inspiration and motivation will come. We never realize how strong we are until strength is the only option we have. You know what I mean? Sometimes you don't know how strong you are until being strong is the only option you have. That's how for me it was. I've been that kid who was from the hood, who didn't have anything. I remember with me, Nkula Orlando, and you were at Dlamini, and I was with Usman, and we would hang out every single day, and we would just dream. And that was the only thing. And the only thing that would take me out of dreaming and that would put me to the next level was putting in the work. The only thing that could obviously change my life was putting in the work. So sometimes we never really realize how strong we are until being strong is the only option that we have. And that's something that people don't quite understand, that when life demands of you to be strong, you truly need to get to that level where you are strong. You truly need to get to that level where you push yourself to be strong, where you push yourself to move forward when there's no reason to move forward. Push yourself to move forward when there's no reason to keep on trying. Push yourself to keep on trying, because trying is the only thing that would basically move you and change your life. I remember, Joe, with me, actually a lot of people don't know about this, and since we are talking about our story, I'll talk about the difficulties that we've actually faced. People don't know that as you are saying, growing from the hood and being a kid who's from unprivileged backgrounds alone is enough to basically demotivate you and push you to saying you're not gonna push, you're not gonna keep on trying, you're just gonna be at the same level. But with us it's different, because we were lucky enough to know about Forex back in the day when no one was trading. We knew about Forex, we started pushing. There wasn't anyone who was that close for motivation. It's better right now, because for guys who are in Soweto, they used to see your car, they still see your car on a daily basis passing, and they can have a point of reference and say, I want to be like Stylish Keys, I want to be like that guy. Hence the song they recorded, because there's a reference that people can point to and say, this is what I want to look like, this is who I want to be like, because this is someone they can see on a daily. But it's different when you don't have anyone to point out to, and all you have is the internet to look for inspiration and say, I want to be like that guy who you've never met. You don't know whether this is a fabricated profile and stuff like that, but you still need to put yourself out and say, I want to be like that guy. You know what I mean? So we had it hard. We had it hard, and we struggled, and we had to push ourselves out of it. We had to push ourselves out of the norm. We had to push ourselves out of the proclivities and tendencies of guys who grow up from the hood to say, if you don't go to school, then you amount to nothing. Me and you are not a definition of school is the key to freedom. We are not the definition of that. We were not built by school. You know what I mean? Even though school had so much to do with obviously shaping and sharpening our minds and our thought processes, but we are not basically made by school. What we do is not from school. Like, you don't go to school to be, qualified as a trader. All that's required is hard work and discipline, and that's what really makes you. So I think people don't know that even before Forex had to be there, like, we had to overcome struggles. And there's a question that I was asking you, because I think this is something that I want people to really understand. When you are going through struggles and difficulties, you need to get to a point where you think beyond and above what you are going through, so that you see yourself getting to that level. Because I remember when we used to trade, like, we used to speak over our lives and say, we are going to be great, we are going to be this, we are going to be that, even when situations were obviously the opposite of what we used to speak about. So people need to understand that there's a lot that has to do with how you speak and the things that you project to the universe, the things that you speak over your life, and that's how your life will subsequently become. So I think that's one thing that I like people to know. What do you have to say about that?
Yeah, no, dog, that's a fact. You understand? That's a fact, dog. Like, you've already said a mouthful. I don't want to lie to you. Like, sometimes you believe so much in something, but reality says the opposite. You understand?
Yeah.
You believe so much in something, but reality says the opposite. I know, dog, for a fact, over 50%, if not over 80% of the people that are on this live, I believe that someday I'm gonna make it in this game, but really different story. You understand? Like, reality is their dreams. You understand? So now this requires more than believing. You understand? Because it is a different thing to believe, and it is a different thing to implement. You understand? So you must always implement on making sure that your dreams come true. Though. Nothing worth having comes easy. That is a very famous quote. Nothing worth having comes easy. You understand? So it means if something is so difficult to attain, if something is so difficult to obtain, that means that is worth having. You understand? That is worth having. So sometimes you must just do more than believe.
So what you're saying is that you will understand the magnitude of what you carry based on the experiences you go through.
Dog, this is what we always had in church. Dog. The dogs never bark at a stationary car.
Yeah.
Understand? Dogs never bark at a stationary car. But the meantime a car gains momentum, the meantime a car moves, that's when dogs start barking. You understand? So obviously, with that being said, I mean, life cannot challenge someone that is stagnant. You must be someone that's going somewhere in order for you to face difficulties in life. Understand? So that's what I'm saying. Uguti, sometimes life requires you to do more than believing. I see, dog. Everyone has a screenshot of codes on their phones. Success is for me. What? There's a new trend, dog. At 0.00. Everyone takes a screenshot. They post on WhatsApp. They post candles. 01.01. They post on WhatsApp. 11.11. They post on WhatsApp. 02.02. They post on WhatsApp. You understand? You know what's there, dog. This is just believing. You understand? This is just believing. But life requires more than those candles on your WhatsApp emojis. Understand? Life requires more than that screenshot on your WhatsApp status. Life requires more than 00 and 11 and 12. Life requires more than that, dog. Like, you can have 100 screenshots of 11 and you will never go anywhere in life. Understand? Life requires hard work, though. Life requires you to work very hard, though. You can have quotes from Steve Mauro. You can have quotes from Albert Einstein. You can have quotes from Jesus himself, though. If you don't work, those quotes will just be quotes on your phone. Understand? You must just wake up and work hard. Wake up and work hard, though. You must make sure that you work hard. Because without hard work, though, there's nothing you can do, though. There's nothing you can do, though.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
you see, like, it's so funny how society is making our peers very lazy, though. I don't want to lie to you. We live in very difficult times that we are very active on social media. We are very inspirational on social media. Even right now, if you can go to inspirational pages, they have over 1 million followers. But then, after being inspired, then what? That's the next question. Understand? Yes, I'm inspired. Yes, I have a screenshot of 11 on my phone. Okay, fine. And then what?
Yeah, 100%.
You understand? It's 11 to what?
Yeah, it takes more than screenshots to make it. It takes hard work and dedication.
Dog, it's 11 now. Dog, it's 11 now. We can even screenshot it now. There's nothing that can happen, dog. There's nothing that can happen, dog. Even if you have, I don't know, 1,000 screenshots of 11 is nothing but 11. I don't know if you get my point, but
I feel you, bro. I feel you. My bro.
yeah, no, my man,
True. Yeah, I think for me this has been a very emotional live session because it kind of took me back to, you know, when I started trading, having to think about how life has turned out right now, having to be to be aware of the things that are actually happening right now, having to be aware of the changes that have come with trading, that have come with hard work, that have come with discipline, that have come with you know, dedication and everything. And I think for me, it just brings me back to what I believe in, that gratitude makes room for more. The more we are grateful, that's the more we can obviously start making money. You know, start making money. That's the more we can start making money. So emotional wise, I think this is the last question that I'm gonna ask, me.
yeah.
This that I'm gonna ask, and then yeah, because I think people have actually gotten to know a bit more things that we have been through and stuff like that. I just need to know, bro. I'm gonna answer that question as well. So how has 2021 been, man? How has 2021 been for you, bro? How has 2021 been for you? I'll answer that after you answer.
Dog, okay, for me, 2021 has been a very emotional year, you understand? Like, we had a very bad start to the year, personally, you and I, simply because we lost our mom. May precious soul rest in peace. It's very painful, but with God's help, obviously, we are healing day by day. You understand? 2021 has been a very sensitive year for me. Please give me a moment, dog. Ngifuna ukuvala la kungaras. You understand? Yeah. So like I was saying, 2021 has been a very emotional year for us, for the both of us. Actually, you understand? We lost our mom, we lost our loved ones, and above losing our mom and our loved ones, we have been losing loved ones left, right, and center. Not only us, but everyone around us has been losing loved ones. So for me, I don't wanna lie to you, dog. I don't wanna lie to you. For me, I've learned that in 2021, above all, God has been teaching us to be grateful for life, dog. We have been taught that we must always be grateful for life, dog, because tomorrow is promised to no man. You understand? Like tomorrow is promised to no man. Dog, it's so funny how we are talking about this right now, and we have just lost a brother, a friend, and a loved one, and a son, and a father also to some. UVMK, you understand? I was there today. I was by his place. I was with him last Friday. You know how close I was to that guy, dog. In the whole of the Forex industry, I'm the only friend that was close to that guy. Understand? I know other traders have been talking, other traders have been saying that, dog, I was close to that guy, dog, you know, more than you were, you understand? That guy, dog, I was there, Google, understand? And funny enough, when I got there, they say to me, no, wena siyakwazi watu fana naye uvumile and all of that. And I'm like, no, I know that. People have been thinking I'm the one that died because that guy looked like me in pictures, you know. There's pictures that where he looks exactly like me, you understand? When facing down and when all of that. So there's one thing that I learned in that whole process, you understand? It's the fact that tomorrow is promised to no one. So we must always value life for what it is. We must always appreciate each day as it comes, dog. We must always live as if this is the last day, dog. That guy never got sick, dog. That guy was very healthy. That guy was live yesterday. Today is gone. So asking me about how has 2021 been? 2021 has been a very emotional roller coaster. But above everything, dog, I'm very grateful that God has taught me to appreciate life more than I used to appreciate life in 2021. You understand? So even to everyone that's on this live, you must learn to appreciate life for what it is. Live each day as if it's your last day. Make sure that each day counts to you. You understand? Dog, when we lost our mother, we felt like the world is coming to an end. You understand? Even in that experience, even in that encounter, we must learn to appreciate life for what it is, dog. That is how
Yeah,
my 2021 has been, dog.
true.
How has it
Interesting.
been, dog, on your side?
Ish. Um, ish. So for me, I think this year has been one of the most hardest years ever since I was born. I've never had such an emotional, challenging, such a hurtful year. I've never had this kind of a year. So with me, I've always been someone who's been able to control things, who's been able to, manage things that happen in his life. For most parts of my life, I've been able to calculate, how certain events would occur in my life, and I got married 2019. People saw that. I was very much public about my marriage, like inspirational couple vibes. We had a YouTube channel. And, to only come in 2021, first day of the year, the year had just started, nothing much, and having to come and be that guy who's gonna be divorced at like on the first day of the year, have his marriage break apart, me having to come, write statements, announce that, so that was one of the things that really broke my heart in this year, because I think I had never imagined myself to have a situation that is beyond my means and beyond my control take over my life like that. So that was really painful. That was a very painful experience. And every time when I think about it, I then realize that life has situations and circumstances that we are unable to control, that are beyond our means. And me having to come out and say, look, this is what happened, was the most painful event of my life in this year 2021. And while still trying to deal with that, 4 months into the divorce, to lose your mom, you know what I mean? And having to, it was just a lot for me, man. It was just a lot for me. I am still dealing with the things that have happened. I still feel like I'm dreaming at times, because of the fact that my life was once perfect at some point, and to have my life turn out to what it turned out to was very much was very much painful. And having to make mistakes even in the year, trying to subside the pain, trying to basically tone down the pain. That has been one of the most painful things. I mean, I still struggle right now with believing that things happened the way they did. And knowing the fact that, like, you've never known stuff about what I was going through. I had to deal with my divorce behind closed doors. I had to close myself up, and our mom being the only source of strength for me to basically see the next day through. I remember even the night before, the old lady Lizzo Border Joe, that I had been talking to her on the phone about the things that I was going through. You know what I mean? And I wasn't okay to wake up the next morning to her phone call, calling me and telling me that she's leaving. You know what I mean? And to her actually passing away. So this has been one of the most difficult years, man, for me. Very emotional, very painful. I've never experienced so much pain in my entire life. And it's one of the things that still feel like, I'm gonna wake up one day and then it's gonna be like, no, this is not it. And I'm so sad that, like, we are growing into these people that we are. And i-ole ritual sekho ukuthi lizobona le success lenenzakalayo nje yabo. So for me, Nacho, if I'm being honest, like, it hasn't been like the best of years. It hasn't been like one of the most amazing years. Like, it was like a very emotional year. And you come to the internet, like, there's people talking about this and they don't understand exactly what you have to go through, and there's nothing as painful as having to face all of these things. And you're just alone, bro, in your corner. You're just alone, and you have yourself and God to deal with you, to basically see you through the next day, Joe. So, yeah, no, Joe, yeah, no.
Yeah, it's bad, dog, but at the end of the day, dog, yabo, it is what it is, boy. It is what it is. God knows, dog, yabo. God knows. Like, I think above everything, now what gives me comfort, dog, the way things happen, yabo, the way only did find a corner. I think that's what gives me comfort. Like, I've been learning, yabo. Being dagabo vumile fandachi. So I'm talking to a brother of his, you understand? So this guy's like, okay, I'm like, no, God knows, dog, you understand? So this guy's like, okay, fine. I understand that my brother is dead. I understand that my brother was killed. But this is a question I have. uNkulunkulu beangeke akhethe indlela engcono nayo ukumthatha. Do you understand the question, dog?
Yeah.
Beangeke akhethe indlela engcono na yokumthatha. And I'm like, nah, dog. Like, I've been in your shoes. I've been in your situation. You understand? I understand how you feel right now. I understand what it feels like losing a loved one, dog. Like, I also felt like the world was coming to an end when we lost the old lady. You understand? Like, I had to explain this to him. Dude, when I lost my mom, I felt like, wasn't there like a better way of my mom passing on? And after that, like, we had to encounter the death of Mpura, Killer Cow, and all of that. Like, I was like, damn, yo, we only really putting on compared to these guys. You understand? Because now I'm seeing how tragic this death was. Okay, fine. After that, now we are experiencing what we are experiencing now, and I'm like, you know what? If it's time, it's time. Dog. If it's time, it's time. We can't be crying over why did he have to die like that? You understand? We can't be crying over that. Like, this is what I've learned, dog, in 2021. Appreciate life while you are still on earth, dog. Because our time is limited, dog. No one is immune to death. No one is immortal on earth, dog. Those are just movies. All of us, dog, are gonna pass on, dog, on earth. I promise you. So we must always appreciate life for what it is, dog. But enough ngama emotional stories, dog. Right? Enough ngama emotional stories, dog. Like we were talking about charts and now this, dog. But yeah,
I
it is what.
think kunama questions nyana
Yeah.
you know abantu abafuna ukwabuza. So I think let's take up like a few questions, maybe 5 questions, and then bese sivale live yabona. Yeah, so I think send through your questions on the question tab, guys, and me and my brother will tackle the questions. But other than that, I think Joe, I appreciate the fact that Siringe about something here on this live, that like no one is really special, no one is unique. If you wanna make it in whatever niche that you're in, you need to put in the work hard, make sure that you put an investment of time, put an investment of effort, put an investment of of effort to basically see your life change. There is nothing that's impossible under the sun. We all have the same amount of hours. We all have the same amount of of breath that we are given, and the only thing that can really elevate us to the next level is obviously hard work. Yabo. So questions. I'm gonna take up